And I was thinking about it. And I'm like, yeah, this year kind of taught me though that we can handle almost just about any load as long as you and I are staying really close and we are in alignment and encouraging each other. If we aren't, then all the other, I would say, endeavors, they feel like they're 10 times as heavy.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So, I figure I should start with a question.
Okay. What made you feel like you should?
What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common?
I don't know.
They're both parasites.
Wow.
You liked it. You couldn't even hold back your laugh a little bit.
That was a rough one.
Okay, that was a good one. So, all right, what are we talking about today?
I thought we said that we wanted to chat about goal setting. It's kind of that time of the year. I don't know when this is coming out, but it's towards the end of the year here, and it's time for us to kind of start thinking about how to end well so that we can start the next year well.
Yeah, we typically like to do our goal setting in November, so that way we get a lot of thinking and planning and discussing and organizing, and we do all that through the end of the year, so that way by January 1st, we are up and running. Instead of what we used to do, which was, hey, it's January 1st, we've got holiday hangover going on, and let's start setting some goals. We haven't even thought about them yet. And then it takes you until February before you're really kind of up and running. So just been a really good, useful practice for us to be able to do. So now we're here. We're here at the end of the year. And, we always go through a series of questions. We do it with our coaching clients. We try to do it with each other along the way. But, there's really something to be said about knowing that you're completing a year well in order to be able to start looking ahead towards next year very well. And, some of the questions that we have that maybe I'll ask you today, I'm going to interview you today. But I think that for all of the people that are listening, these are great questions that you could ask yourself or others around you that probably could help you complete this past year. I heard it explained one time that a lot of times what you can do is you can take like a timer for 2 minutes and then just write down every dream that you have. Any kind of, if like money or time, any of that was not an issue, what would what are some of your dreams? And typically, I know the first time I did it, I think I had like 5 or 6 answers, right? And I remember it being a little bit challenging. And someone explained to me, I said, well, if you have probably less than 10, you write down in 2 minutes, then that means that you have so many thoughts bouncing around in your head that your creativity has been basically stifled almost to a standstill. And when you're operating at such a low level of creativity, you're going to work twice as hard to get a half the results. And so, one of the things you have to do is you have to just think of your thoughts as like think about little beams just like bouncing around in your head. And if they don't have a place to land because there's still an unended thought or an unended concern or whatever, then you're probably going to have a hard time being creative. And so some of these questions help with this to be able to get past some of those thoughts that have not landed anywhere yet. So I have a question for you. What was your biggest triumph this past year?
I feel like I've had several, but one of the biggest ones was probably this big move to Boise this year, and everything that went with that, whether it was selling one home to purchase another home to packing up, pretty much our whole house and whatnot, to start a whole new adventure in an area that we've only visited maybe 3 times before we moved here.
Yeah, and never before we decided to move here.
Correct.
Not one time.
And with that, organizing and helping the kids with all that, because, as any parent knows, it's not just you making decisions and you succeeding in life, it's how your tribe around you does. And, to have our tribe, change where we've been living for the last, their whole life, is the Midwest and whatnot, to be able to organize that and help navigate that and walk them through that, only to feel like we came here and it's been very successful and that everyone's thriving, feels like it's a really large accomplishment.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a big triumph, all the different moving parts of having to sell the house and get everything moved, and then even managing coming from Florida over to Boise and all of the moving parts. But like you said, mostly emotionally being able to manage it within our household, because there's so much change, and everybody resists change. We all do to a certain extent, but there's been a lot of intentionality and prep work that you and I have done to make sure that we're not only in alignment with each other and that you and I are each okay, but also making sure that our kids understand this and that we can present it in a way that they see the value and the benefit and why we're doing it. We're so big on communication and open communication to make sure that people aren't just sitting there wondering, and so I think we've done a great job with that this year.
Yeah, and I think all the little conversations I had along the way with the kids has added up to feeling super secure in the decision we made, and they're excited about where we're at right now. And we've only been here 6 months or so, and truly everybody is thriving. And it feels good to kind of look back and realize that many times we're gonna have to do prep work, and that goes in your businesses, that goes in your personal life, that goes in your relationships, that goes in your walks, in your journey with, God, whatever it may be. There's prep work that needs to be done inside of you to be able to accomplish what you want long term. And it doesn't just happen overnight, and it doesn't just happen because you're like, hey, once we get there, we'll figure it out then. All the prep work and all the small conversations I had along the way led up to the excitement where we are today.
For sure. Okay, how about this? What was the greatest?
Wait, what was yours? Same answer, would you say? Or what was your...
Yeah, I just told you that. Where were you?
I was sitting right here, but I came up with I just didn't know if it was your same one, for accomplishments this year, if you felt like it was your largest, because you've done some great things too this year. You just finished up an amazing it's not a mastermind, a leadership / apprenticeship, which was a huge accomplishment for you this year. So I didn't know if maybe that was one of your large victories for the year.
Yeah, there's been quite a few this year, and but for sure the move to Boise is the biggest one.
Okay.
And for me, it's just because last year when we were setting goals and we've been setting where do we want to be even the next handful of years, one of our top 5 was that we are going to find ourselves a really strong, forward advancing, kingdom minded community that we not only can be fully supported in, but also we can contribute to. And so, it was a leap of faith coming out here to Boise, thinking that it's going to be like that. It's a pretty big assumption to uproot your entire life and do what we did. However, we were willing to take that risk because it mattered so much to us for a lot of reasons. And that'd be a whole nother topic, an episode of just why we believe that in community. But the main part is we just know from, I think, a lot of experience of having good community in seasons and then not having the community in seasons and how much it affects our lives. Because, community really is the soil of transformation. And so investing your time, energy, effort, life into getting yourself connected, not just kind of some people, but connected into community, I think it's such a game changer. Every part of my life where I've really gone to a new level, it's almost always been because I've been connected to people that are going somewhere and it brings the best out of me. And so, that's why I can look at it now after being here, for 6 months now, And at first, it was a gamble. It felt like it was a calculated gamble. But now, I mean, I can see it was a complete victory because we found what we were looking for. So, okay, what was the greatest lesson you've learned this last 12 months?
Well, I mean, one of the lessons I learned in the last 12 months is that things can change pretty quickly, even though maybe you've been praying for it for a very long time.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, one of the things with choosing to come out here was that, there had been many conversations and prayerful nights of trying to decide what our next goal in life was, what we were trying to do with our family dynamics and with you and I and with our faith journey and with our community and with really all the accomplishments we want in this amazing life. So it feels like it was kind of slow moving to kind of make the decision to come and uproot and move here. But then once that decision had been made, it moved very quickly at that point. And I think the lesson was that sometimes, and many times we'll talk about this, is that my timing isn't the same as God's timing. And sometimes, you have to be patient. You really have to be patient, because I think about it now, and some of the possible other journeys we could have went down would not have at all given us what we have here, even within the last 6 months. So many blessings. I mean, again, we could get into it in a different conversation at some time, but like the choice to come here and grow ourselves and grow our children and develop into who we know we're supposed to be was just God's timing, not our timing. And then within that, I'll just tell the little story. One of the lessons I learned was that as we were trying to figure out a home for us here in Boise, we had come out a couple times. The first time we came out, we didn't have a lot of success of a home that we wanted. Kind of saw one or two that was neat, but nothing that was like the one. We kind of went home a little bit like, I'm not sure what we want. And then what we did was kind of hone in a little bit more about what we wanted. And at one point, we actually put an offer in on a house. And our realtor was, making that happen. And we were supposed to sign within, I don't know, a couple days of getting it. And you said, you know what, maybe we should just fly out real quick and double check it. You said, I don't feel so good buying it, unseen, like in the physical. And I was like, that's probably a great idea. Good idea. And we did. What a lesson learned for us.
Yeah.
What did we figure out on that one?
Well, we figured out that the amazing technology with pictures online doesn't always perfectly translate into reality. And this place was really nice. I mean, it was brand new. Like, it wasn't like it was anything wrong with it or it was a dump or anything. It just, I don't know. It's different when you see it online, and all the things that your brain goes to of what it means and what it looks like and what each room is and what the yard is like and what the neighbors will be like, everything. You just get an impression in your mind that you kind of make up, right?
Yeah.
And then you go there, and then there's just a lot of things that were different. And so, yeah, I mean, we thank goodness we didn't make that mistake.
Right. And with that lesson learned, though, after kind of coming away from that possible purchase, that night, it was like one of those, I'm sure everybody was, everyone's been here before, but, we went back to our hotel room that night a little like, oh my gosh, for a minute we might have doubted if we were supposed to come for no other reason than that one home didn't work out for us. We were just, for some reason, almost allowed ourselves to feel like for a minute, maybe we weren't supposed to do this. And so we went home in total Holy Spirit, but, I had this opportunity to get on and chat with some actual local people that have been living here for years and were part of the church. Fast forward, I mean, we got this opportunity to move into this home that we are in right now, and it has changed everything for us in our perspective. I mean, the location has been amazing. The sports programs available for our kids has been awesome. The backyard for our kids and our dogs to play in has been just so neat. And literally we pinch ourselves because it's like we almost, allowed a learning opportunity from stopping us from achieving what we ultimately wanted. And what a neat opportunity to learn it this year, because with all the other moving parts, we could have really missed out on what was best for us.
For sure. I would say probably my greatest lesson that I learned this year was that we can do a lot of things as long as you and I are really connected. We have a lot on our plate right now. This has been a year of opportunity for us, no doubt about it. And that's because the last couple of years we've been like turning our brains around to like seeking it out and really getting some clarity on directions that we want to go, and really have done a lot of hard work in that area. And so now all of a sudden here we are, and opportunities are showing up left and right, and we've had to filter through some of them, and some of them are up and running, and we're going 100 miles an hour. And I hear that compliment a lot from other people, that you guys really can handle a lot. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, this year kind of taught me though that we can handle almost just about any load as long as you and I are staying really close, and we are in alignment, and we are supporting each other, and we are filling each other up and encouraging each other. If we aren't, and we're not in that space, then all the other, I would say, endeavors, they feel like they're 10 times as heavy. And so it's just an important thing. It's kind of like something you feel like but then all of a sudden, let's throw 10 new things in your plate, and then you realize going through it, because there's been some times when we haven't been fully connected, and we've had to work to get back connected. And but the reality is, I'm like, okay, we know this, we coach this. You gotta put the right things first. Doesn't mean we have to get rid of the other things, though. It just means we have to keep them the right priority. So
yeah, that's always, I feel like, a thing that if you are a high achiever, you're going to have to remember, if you really want to keep your relationship strong and connected, it's going to take as much work as you think it will. Mm-hmm. It's a real process to focus on each other and not focus on all the other things.
All right, hold that thought. I'll have you explain how you can focus on me in the next episode. Hey everyone, thanks for listening, and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. And we have great news. You get more of us. You can expect new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. So be sure to consistently tune in with us and enjoy our show. See you next time.